This review is of the Professional Electronic Products Digital Microscope. It is unbranded, or rather it is sold by many different brands, and this is made by a manufacturer and then sold under different brandings by other companies on Temu. So you can buy it at different prices if you look carefully. This is model 366. I'm not sure what the difference is between the different models. I don't know if it's about color. I believe that 66 and 67 means black and white, but I'm not really sure. There's no manufacturer information, so that's a bit of a problem. It is made in China. It does come well packaged. I've already taken the product out, so I just wanted to show you. It comes within this. This is for the base of the microscope, because it does come with a stand that you have to assemble. It's in 3 parts. All right, so the screen parameter is 4.3 IPS, 2 megapixels, 1000 times magnification. So it's actually pretty good. Obviously, it's not as good as the best microscopes out there, but for what most people would want it for, I think would be fine. JPEG for images and AVI for video. Manual focus, 0 to 90 millimeters. Light source is 8 LEDs and 2000 milliamp hour battery capacity, which is about 3.5 hours of operating time. Takes 3 hours to charge with a 5 volt 1 amp charger. It does support Windows from Vista all the way up to current in Mac OS X11 or higher. So these are the parts of the stand. We have this piece here, and then the rod that holds it up, and then the base. And you can move it up and down. All right, so then you can take this and you can slide it in here. Now, you can also, and then we just gotta lower it. So I'm gonna use this as an example. You have to lower it almost all the way down. Now you can actually get this really, really low, which is important because it doesn't focus much beyond that. Now, there's also a light control over here. I'm gonna turn that all the way up. So you can see it's pretty bright. There's a reset button. You'd have to stick a pin in there. Also over here, you can use a TF card for memory. And if you want to, you can plug it into with a power supply that has the, what is that, a Type-C USB connector. You can always adjust the angle. That's pretty good. All right, we do want to take this cover off. There's a protective cover. And then let's take a look at a good old Abraham's. You can adjust the focus with this here. It's on both sides, so it's very easy to move it. It's also very easy to accidentally jostle it. Now look at that. Abe's watching you. You better be good. So that's pretty nice. We can see his other eye. And all these nice little details of the wing, the eagle. E pluribus unum. So that's really, really good. I'm sure you realize that that's not all this has to offer. You can switch between the live mode, where you're actually, viewing things, to so that's where for videos and photographs that you can take, to that. Okay, and then this is for going into settings, of course. The first setting allows you to adjust resolution. You only have 3 choices on that one, and I'll just leave it as it is. And then we press mode again, and it takes us to all the different settings. Use these arrows to scroll through. Time setting, and this is the, oh no, I forgot it. This one doesn't allow you to use the arrows. You go through, and then that's it. Screensavers, so it's not screensavers, it's about how long before the screen automatically turns off. We've got it set to 3 minutes. Flicker rate is for the hertz, the refresh rate. Sometimes it helps to read the instructions. So I did, and This is actually the power button. Although I guess you have to hold it down. There we go. And to hold it down again to turn it off, which, you know, that's pretty nice. I'm going to turn off the light just to save battery power. Get that back on again. To take a photograph when you're in observation mode, you know, you'd have something underneath there. And try not to lose the protective lens. And then a short press of the OK button will take a photograph, as it just showed you that. A long press will move you into camera mode. So it's now making a video, apparently. So let's just test that theory. Come on. And we'll adjust the focus. Really impressed with what I got for the amount of money that I spent, which was $27. So $27, and I have not even finished showing you everything about this. Now I'm going to press the OK again to turn off the recording. Now it would normally be saving this video to a memory card, so you want to get a TF card if you're going to be having to save things like videos and pictures. The left arrow is for zoom out. It does have all these functions. The left arrow button also does zoom out, rotate image, and move up or left. The right button does zoom in, move down, and or move right. So yeah, I'm going to delete that. Maybe you're like, oh my God, 4.3-inch diagonally screen is too small. Happily, they have provided a solution. That charging port is also for using this. So you can connect this to a computer, and then you can see on your monitor, which I'm going to show you. But before we get that far, I wanted to show you a little bit more. So I'm on the camera mode right now, and it's showing me a picture. I always forget which one it is. All right, so we're going to do this button, which allows us to delete all, or lock them all. And in fact, not only can you lock them all, you can also unlock one or unlock them all. So that gives you the option to protect some that you don't want to accidentally delete. I'm just going to, say delete all. Why? Because I don't need anything else on there. And now we can see there's nothing left. And now we're back to the actual observation mode. We can tell that because when I turn this on, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect this to my computer. And we're going to be looking at my screen. Once you've got it plugged in properly into the USB port on your computer, you can choose memory or PC camera. If you go to PC camera, it's going to switch to your computer screen. Well, now you can see I've got it displaying to my computer screen. There is a bit of a lag, so I'm going to stop moving it now. And yeah, there's a 1.5 second delay maybe between, and I'm not really sure if it's the USB lag or if it's just that the device is that slow in transferring data. But it is a bit awkward. You really have to take your time to make sure that you don't overshoot your mark. But yeah, so you can do that. In the instructions, it suggests that you use, they suggest photo booth, AMCAP. They also suggest smart camera. Now on mine, I'm using a program called OBS, which is much more robust than those programs. This is actually for making videos and streaming and all kinds of stuff. You could get a simple program that could retrieve the information and do that. I'm really very, very happy with this because I didn't know what to expect. It did kind of run out of battery faster than I thought it might, but I did charge it up to 100 and now it's got a recharge for the short time that we've had it on. I don't think it's going to last 3.5 hours somehow. And I think that that 3.5 hours is probably with the light off. Overall, for sub $30, I feel very, very pleased with this gift for my daughter. What do you think about it? Do you think that this would be useful for you? Do you dislike the fact that it's only got one resolution, 1000 times magnification? Are you disappointed by the lag from the device to the computer? Because it's certainly not my computer. I do not have an old computer. Do you think that there are specific applications that this is not going to be useful for at all? Please put in the comments your thoughts on what this is actually going to be useful for and what it's not going to be useful for. Because, it does suggest certain things on the box, such as printing industry, textile industry, industrial inspection, PCB inspection, etc. Now, I'm not really sure if this has got enough resolution to really be effective on a PCB, but let me just put a PCB underneath it and see if it might. See if I can. Here's a little chip right there. See if I can get the focus to be a little bit better. There we go. I forgot what that is. So yeah, I think it's going to actually work out for looking at PCBs. However, given the very, very tiny amount of space available on the stand itself, you'd have to remove it from the stand. And you can elevate this. I can certainly elevate this more to provide more space for the components, but ultimately I can't go too far in the direction of the upright because it's blocking it. So what do you think? What would this not be good for? Please put it in the comments. I'd love to know what you know and what you would not recommend doing with this product. I'd love to see in the comments what you have to think about this product. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.
Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.